When is the last time you did something simply because you enjoy it? Not because you thought it was going to yield you some sort of result, not because you thought it was going to make you more successful, to make you more wealthy, to get you more validation, to get you more followers, to get you more subscribers, more likes, to make you cooler, to make you more impressive to other people, to make you better in some sort of way. When is the last time that you did something simply just because it brought you a sense of joy? It brought you a sense of wonder and fulfillment in a way that you just are happy. You just do it because you like it. You do it because you think it's fun, not because you are looking for some sort of result or some sort of metric of increase or some sort of yield. You're just doing it because you enjoy it. You do it because it's something that brings, a warmth to your heart. When is the last time that you have indulged in an activity like that? I would say for most of us, including myself, the last time was probably at some point like in my childhood or in my early teenagehood, when things were not as results driven, when I did not have such a focus on productivity, when the stakes were not as high, when I didn't feel so much of a pressure to perform. I feel like the older we get, the more we lose our sense of playfulness. We lose our sense of doing something simply because it's fun. What I'm really discussing here are intrinsic values versus extrinsic values. An intrinsic value is you doing something because it brings you a sense of joy and fulfillment, and an extrinsic value is something that you do because you want to get something out of it. So like a perfect example would be, I like to cook, right? I like cooking. It is a fun activity and a hobby for me that I like doing for fun. I like to experiment. I like to try different recipes. I like doing it just for the sake of doing it. If a recipe doesn't turn out good and it doesn't turn out perfect, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I do it for the sake of just having the experience of cooking a dish. But if I turn that around and my meaning, my purpose of doing the cooking is now because I have to work at a restaurant that I don't like and I don't enjoy and I need to pay my bills, this thing that I enjoy is no longer something I enjoy. It is now something that I'm doing for a reason. I'm trying to get something out of it. If I'm cooking to try to impress some girl, that I'm dating or something like that, and now I'm trying to get something out of it. I'm not doing it just because I simply like it. Intrinsic values versus extrinsic values. And I feel like in our modern society and in our adulthoods, we do a lot more activities in our life that are geared towards extrinsic values rather than intrinsic. We're not doing it for joy. We're doing it because we want a result. We're metrics driven. We're driven by recognizing that we've gotten better at something. But everything that we do doesn't have to be for the sake of growth. Everything is not for growth. Everything is not for development. Everything is not for your improvement. A lot of things can be. A lot of things can be for your growth and for your improvement and for your development, but not everything has to fall into that realm. Some things are just because you simply enjoy them. I'm not saying there isn't such a thing as wasting time or being lazy. There are definitely activities that you can do that don't actually do anything for you. You're not really stimulating your mind or doing something that really brings you joy or fulfillment. You're kind of just doing something to waste time. You're doing something to fill in the gap of existence. You're really just doing something to quiet your mind in a moment and distract yourself and give yourself some sort of stimulation. You're not really doing it because you love it. You're not doing it because it just brings you happiness. So I'm not saying that those things don't exist, but I am saying that we are lacking playfulness. We are lacking this giving ourselves a moment in time to kind of just exist and do something without worrying about or having the pressure to perform, without worrying about or having the pressure of trying to get better at something. You do it simply because, For me, growing up, I used to draw all the time. I used to draw 24/7. That was something I loved doing. I would draw throughout an entire notebook, pages completely full. I used to have pages and pages of all sorts of drawings and sketches that I used to do. I would sit in my room for hours on end, just with colored pencils, drawing and sketching, and I would do it without a thought in the world. I would just be in this flow state of just having fun. And in my mind, when I would do it, I never had this idea of I'm doing this for a result. I'm doing this because I want to become a comic book artist or a manga artist or to make my own cartoon someday. I'm not doing this because, I'm going to put it online and hopefully I can spread it out to, the breaches of the internet, and somebody can pick it up and I can start making money and I can make an NFT or whatever. There was no extrinsic value attached to it. The value of it was the fact that I loved to draw. I just loved doing it. I would just sit in my room for hours and I would do it. And, it's not to say that I didn't get better over time. Of course I did, but that was never really the point. The point of it was never to get better. The point of it was to express myself, to, put myself into a creative endeavor and just do something that I love to do because I love doing it. And as I got older, I did it all the way throughout high school. But by the time I got to college, I just stopped. It's one of my biggest regrets. It's not to say that I can't pick it back up or that I don't still have the talent. I absolutely do. Every now and then I'll pick up a pen and try to do it again and try to doodle. But I don't take the time out of my day to try to do it. And, I'm bringing this up because I recognize that there's a gap in my life, and there's probably a gap in yours, in which you're lacking the chance to do these activities that aren't for a result. They aren't for a yield. They're not for you to try to get something out of. You're lacking that playfulness. You're lacking the chance for you to do something simply because it's fun. You're not doing crossword puzzles or a jigsaw puzzle. You're not going on a walk just because you want to go on a walk, not because you're trying to lose weight. We used to go outside and play in the playground, and we had no structure to what we were doing. We would just go out there and just have a good time. We would just have the experience and be in the moment and have fun for fun's sake. There was no structure to it. You just did it. And it was so fulfilling to have those moments of fun. But now it's like you gotta try to do something to get something. But you don't. Enjoy yourself, express yourself, dance for dancing's sake, not because you want to become, the next best dancer that's going to be a TikTok sensation. Sing because you want to sing, not because you want to be the next superstar. Draw because you want to be drawing for fun, not because you want to be the next great artist that sells all their art all over online and is making millions of dollars. I'm not saying that there is no utility for developing a talent and trying to become the best of what you can. I absolutely advocate for you trying to be the best version of whatever it is that you want to be. I absolutely advocate for you trying to, take advantage of your talents and live your life to the absolute fullest, to be productive, to be disciplined, to be consistent, to try to make sure that your life is lived as best as you can live it. But I think a part of that also comes with rest and playfulness. A part of that also comes with you giving yourself a chance to deload, giving yourself a chance to think less and do less. Your muscles grow when you're resting, not when you're exercising. When you're out there exercising, when you're pushing those weights, when you're doing all that heavy lifting and all that heavy work, that is not when your muscles grow. That's when you challenge your muscles, but your muscles actually grow when you're resting. We got to incorporate some sort of resting into our life and our lifestyles, and sort of some of that rest is you having fun. And fun is not inherently self-destructive. It doesn't mean that you got to go out to a bar and get sloppy drunk. It doesn't mean that you got to be out here, hooking up with random people. It doesn't mean that you got to get, drunk and faded out of your mind and doing all sorts of drugs. It doesn't mean that you got to go spend all of your money and get bottle service. It doesn't mean that you got to, hit every bar and club in the world. It doesn't mean you got to go gambling. It doesn't mean that you got to do anything, inherently extreme. It doesn't have to be that for fun. Your fun can be resting. Your fun can be doing something simply because it brings you joy. You know what I mean? And it's not because you're doing it based on a metric. It's not because you want something from it. You're not chasing a yield. You're doing it simply because you enjoy it. I want you to have more fun in your life. Get that rest so that you can build your muscles. If you want your muscles to grow, you got to get your rest. If you want your life to grow, your dreams to grow, your aspirations to grow, your manifestations to grow, if you want your existence to be better, if you want the big muscles of existence, you have to rest. You got to be playful. Take that time and be playful. It's important. It's essential. Do something because you enjoy it. We're not looking for something from it. We're not trying to get something from it. We're just doing it because we enjoy doing it. It's what we like to do. We're not wasting time. We're spending time. Time is something of value. When you're spending your time doing something, you're taking something of value and putting it towards something. And you're wasting time when you're doing something that you don't really care that much about. But what I'm talking about right now is something that actually brings you fulfillment and joy. Even if there is no sense of getting better at it, right? You're not really trying to become a better version of yourself doing it, or you're not looking for an increase or, how you can get better metrics. You're just doing it because you like it, Sing if you want to sing. Try to pick up an instrument and try to learn it, or, if you are an artist, try drawing or painting again. If you're somebody who wants to, write short stories, or if you're somebody who wants to anything in the world, do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you want some sort of result. Because the second that you put that pressure on yourself of trying to get a result out of it is the second that you no longer make it based upon this intrinsic value. You're not doing it to bring yourself joy anymore. You are now doing it for something. I just want you to think about how you might be lacking that in your life, and how you really should start trying to find these small things that you can do to bring playfulness back into your existence. Make it something. Make it a priority, because it makes your life better. Studies show the more that you are involved in these extrinsic values and don't have as many intrinsic values, the more depressed you're likely to be. Because a lot of times these values are based in hollow, junk value. You're doing it for other people. You're doing it for validation. You're doing it for, something outside of just your personal joy and happiness. I want you to find your personal joy and happiness. So please find something that you enjoy doing for the sake of doing it, and do it. Get out there and have fun, please. I beg of you, just get out there and have fun. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about tonight. So appreciate you for tuning in. Take care. All right, peace. What's good, gang? Today I wanted to try doing something a little bit different that I have never done before. I wanted to engage in my creative spirit and try something out of my comfort zone, and that is recording at night. I have never recorded at night before, like ever. I guess partly it's because of the whole lighting thing. I've always preferred recording in daylight. I like to record in the sunlight. I love the sun. I love the whole vibe of natural light. I had this idea when I went and took my walk in the park today of a discussion that I wanted to have, and I didn't want to put it off. I had this idea that came in my head of something that I really felt like I just wanted to get out. I wanted to get it out immediately. I didn't want to put it off for another day and wait for perfect sunlight. So first and foremost, I really want to just thank y'all for being a part of this journey. I want to thank y'all for tuning in and for being so supportive and saying all those wonderful things to me in the comments. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, I don't know if many content creators or whoever are really like vulnerable and telling y'all how much they care and how much they actually read every single comment and how much it's impactful and it drives them to do the right thing and to continue going. I promise to continue serving y'all as best as I can with as much knowledge as I can. But in the meantime, as a little congratulations for myself for being so consistent and getting back into my creative groove and trying something new and trying something different, I got myself a little something. But I got some mochi nuts. This is Vietnamese coffee, this is black sesame, and that is creme brulee. I'm excited to try it. First things first, I'm about to try this Vietnamese coffee one. Yo, this is fire. This is hella good. I love the chewiness of the donut. It's delectable, you know what I mean? Exquisite. Now I'm gonna take a bite of the creme brulee. I kind of like the Vietnamese coffee one a little bit better. And now the black sesame. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That one was a little bit too savory. You can really taste that sesame. Like, I'm a sweets guy. I love my sweets. I love sweet, and that was not as sweet. That was definitely more of a savory. It's not that it was bad. It's just like that flavor profile didn't really fit for me. But yeah, overall, these were really good. They were delicious, and I'm glad that I got them. I would say my favorite out of the three was the Vietnamese coffee. That was a hitter. But, you know, go on ahead and try out your local mochi nut if you got one. I just got out the shower. I just got done doing my whole skincare routine. It is currently 9 o'clock at night, so it's pretty late. Like, we're getting really close to approaching my bedtime territory. So, you know, this is like totally, completely out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to try this out for y'all, and I wanted to have this discussion with y'all. I did everything that I wanted to do today. I've been very productive lately. I've been putting out a lot of material and recording and, you know, just really grinding, and I feel really good about that. I feel happy about my output. I feel happy about, you know, getting myself back into the groove of being creative and engaging into my creative spirit. But I'm letting you know, I'm telling you, like, it really does help me to know that y'all enjoy this and that, you know, you picking up what I'm putting down. It feels good. So I really want to thank y'all for being a part of the journey and being so supportive and, you know, tuning in and watching. Like, I couldn't ask for more.